Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another House of Stein Hot 10 show every Friday here on the House of Stein comic book channel. Look at Hood. Hood jumps in and says, I know how they're going to do the Doctor Doom Downey Jr. thing. But before we get to that, ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ben. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you and many more on Channel 4 and Scooby-Doo on Channel What the Hell?
Ben, you're my friend, Ben, you're my friend, you're the best openers ever been, Ben, you're my friend. Hey, Ben, you're my friend, Ben, you're my friend, you're the best openers ever been, never met a Ben like Ben, Ben, on the top, Ben, you're my friend, that went out to Ben.
More cowbell.
Happy birthday, brother.
Hell yeah, that was amazing.
You're on mute. Oh, you're on mute, dude. What are you doing?
I didn't even know I was on mute, but thank you all. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Happy 40th birthday.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Bro,
Hood.
your life's just starting, dude. Bro,
This is my golden.
time to
This
go
is my
rob a
golden.
bank, dude.
It's my golden
Let's go
age now.
do it, man. Hey,
Hood.
so they have a movie, the unannounced movie before Doomsday, right?
Yeah.
So I heard I forgot his name, but he sort of kind of said what if they redid the Iron Man movie, Iron Man 1, right? And instead of Iron Man Tony Stark going the right way, he goes the other way. And they could easily redo that movie with special effects and everything, and then you're off and Doom is created, right? And it's almost like a live action what if. And then there's also the what if season 3. So a lot of people there's speculation that they could go that route, the way they did with evil Doctor Strange and leading up into Multiverse of Madness. So I can totally see how they could do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. You know what I think? I think it's just going to be the most simple thing in that he's going to be either a variant like we all think, or he's just going to have the mask on the whole time and you're never going to see his face. So
you ever notice how in the comics he looks so close to like how Tony Stark?
yeah.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Good call.
I mean, the way they draw him, like that variant issue of
Infamous Iron Man 2, the Diodato 1 in 10.
Right.
It
looks
Tony
just
Stark,
like
but Vaughn.
yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We will see. But you know, we last week started the show without a Whoa book of the week, so we had to fix that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, hold on here.
Whoa. Mama.
The Whoa, a book of the week. What do we got here, Stein?
This is Shriek #1 from 1989, and I don't know who is the publisher on this.
Epic. I believe
This is an Epic.
Yeah.
Epic Nation?
Or no,
No.
Fantico.
Fantico. Sorry, Fantico. I was going to say
Fantico.
Epic Comics, but it's Fantico. You're right.
I don't know who the artist on this is, but this is a very creepy cover. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what this book's about.
But you want it, just
But
like
I want
do.
it now.
Yeah. I collect jack-o'-lantern covers, man, and you're always finding me good books that I have.
I
to
did
add
not
to
know
the
you
collection.
collected jack-o'-lantern covers.
I do. I collect jack-o'-lantern covers and I collect skull covers, and I collect alien covers, and I collect cannabis covers, and I collect weird heroin covers.
What about hand?
No, I don't collect hands, but I know there's people that do. And the reason I say this, dude, is because I've been going through all my books and, lessering my PC. And my PC now is only those type of books. You know what I mean? It's
Hell yeah.
cheap to find those type of books. So I'm just going to go with those, and everything else is for sale. And that's why I have a huge fucking sale tomorrow and Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Whatnot. Shameless plug. But we'll talk about that more. I'm going to have to get this. And I want to have everything in probably 4 or 5 short boxes. I know that's going to be hard as hell, but I'm going to try and pull that off.
That's what he said.
I knew it was coming.
Hard as
We
hell,
said it.
baby.
He said he. I said she. We just didn't want to offend anybody.
Right. Or they. That's
Or
what
they.
they said.
Or them.
However it works. But that leads us to... Oh, that blows. That
Oh my God.
blows. Yeah. This is the new Incredible Hulk number 14, I believe, that's out this week. This is the Todd Knock disco cover, and this is one of the worst covers. I mean, it's good art, but terrible
Concept.
I mean,
Yeah. In what planet would you ever put Hulk in a tutu?
Or
I
roller
don't-
skating rink.
Yeah, I mean, are you? I mean, okay, so I grew up in the '80s, and we watched Hulk with Ferrigno,
yep.
and and Hulk wasn't. I mean, there is zero chance that Hulk
Hey,
would be
Look at this cover.
This is awful. I mean, this is.
David
I mean, it
Banner.
is. It's. I mean, Duke said this is embarrassing, right?
The only thing good about this cover is how Ghost Rider's roller skates have fire on them, flames on them.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Whoa, I think I like this book now. Changed to blow to whoa.
That's what he
He's
said.
like, get out of my way, bitch.
Yeah.
A closer look, they're rollerblades. Never mind.
I don't know. I mean, this has this, unfortunately, and you guys can take this how you want, but this has the same vibe as the She-Hulk show that basically just makes Hulk look like a ridiculous character, like he can't do anything, and this is what he's now turned into, is literally on roller skates with a tutu and a crappy
short
jacket.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and
what they did with
I mean,
Scar.
This is not Hulk. There's in no universe this is Hulk. This is an embarrassment.
Yeah, there was some covers this week that were truly horrible, including one by that said yellow fellow of redoing the beat off some guy's Archie book with aliens. I just had to beat off some aliens. What? That doesn't even make sense. Yeah, that's stupid. Anyways, my hate seethes. Can I get an Emperor quote, Hood?
What's a good one? I can feel your anger. Strike me down with all your hatred, and your journey to the dark side will be complete.
That's how I feel right now.
You forgot to
right.
laugh.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, we don't just have one blow book of the week. We have two. And this one I feel a little bad for. Putting Rose Besh up on the blow book of the week.
Too bad it's number
is-
1 on the Hot 10.
I know. This is fucking this. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to say about Rose Besh. Her art has gotten much better over the last couple solicitations that I've seen.
Yep.
She's changed it up a little bit. She's added a little bit stronger lines or different lines, maybe. Not, you know what I mean? Like not as strong on those outside lines. I don't know what it is, but she's changed it up a little bit. But this one is fucking rough. I love the background, but
Yeah.
What in the world is going on here?
yeah,
Like, this is, I mean, okay, does he have feet or does he not have feet? Is that
You know, like, does Rose have any friends? You know what I mean? Because I feel like if she had some good friends, they would tell her that this book looks like shit, dude. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
don't get mad at me, Rose, but
yeah,
that's
don't
got some
worry.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Last I checked, the symbiote didn't have a butt crack. Right? I don't think so.
Yeah.
this is just, I saw this and I was like, and I saw this right after I saw the Hulk book, and I thought, okay, I don't normally put like books that just came out, not normally, but these two were so bad. I mean, who's approving these, right? Some editor is like, oh yeah, let's go and print these.
You know, here's the
This is
thing, bro. They're
is a
not
sell.
even. I don't even think they're doing that. I think they're literally just throwing darts at walls and going, okay, put this one here, put this one here,
See what
this one
sticks.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, but where would this stick?
The bathroom.
This is a 1 in 100 too.
I
Get the
know.
fuck out. That's a 1 in 100?
Yeah.
There's a trade dress of it that's like a B cover or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
God
But
damn it.
here's the
it's-
thing, man. She redeemed herself in my mind for everything after her great eBay live sale with Drew from Wanted Comics, because she never really like gets outside the box or like does those type of things. And Drew had her kind of joking and laughing a little bit, and it was pretty fun to watch. But this is rough. Rose, I'm glad you're changing your art style a little bit. It's much better now. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to Bite the Dip. Starting off with The Avengers issue 28, the Ed McGuinness second printing cover.
I thought this was a fun list. I go, you know what? I'm going to put these two books on there because one, we can have a chuckle, and the other one might be a decent play.
Yeah.
I
like
so
this
yeah. Yeah, me too. Shout out to the Mighty Mel V and his drunken chat son. Him and I were searching for this book. I want to say Easter, but maybe Christmas Eve of 2021 into 2022. In the guts, you have the debut of the White Widow costume, which who cares? But this one right here is interesting because you get that cover of Ghost Surfer. And Comicron reports this being ordered by retailers at just under 850 copies, right on the bottom of the list. This book right here was, I know it was during the pandemic, but it was during a hype spike. Okay. So meaning that the spec never came into fruition, and it was, it was something that we talked about, and some people, they went and grabbed the book accordingly. And this book got up to about $50. There was a couple sales at $59.99, but ranged around 40 to $50. And then all of a sudden it just dropped off like any other hype book does. And now we have a low sale, $3.99, which is basically cover price, maybe $1 more. I don't know if it's a $4.99 book. 30-day average of $4.50, down 89%. And I did see 4 listings on the secondary market on eBay, and then some other ones, some real nice copies for very cheap. So I think this could be a good play. I'm not saying this character's coming to the MCU or anything like that, but if they end up developing this character in the comics forthwith, this will be one that you guys could have grabbed for really cheap.
Yeah. Interesting. I like the
Yeah.
cover. I'm an Ed McGuinness fan.
Yeah, for cover price, I mean, that there's not much risk there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Shout out to Funhouse with the $4.99 super chat saying, "Happy birthday, Ben." Oh yeah. All right, moving on to the next Buy the Dip book. Uncanny X-Men issue 333, the first full appearance of Bastion, which, man, was on fire a few months ago.
Yeah, specifically, as Brian was saying, alluding to, in a newsstand edition. first full Bastion. I mean, this book was on friggin' fire when it comes to sales, and then there's just so many of them. We just couldn't find a bump in value. Remember, Ben? And then even the newsstands were getting a little more premium, I would say 10 to 12. And then eventually, once the copy started drying up, we had sales that were like, close to 30, 35 bucks. A few outliers like, $15.99 or what have you, but an average of around, 30, 40 bucks. Now you can get this book in very high grade, near mint minus or better for as low as $3.90 as this one sale. And this wasn't the only sale that was below $5. 30-day average of $8, down 62% since the last bump.
Yeah, I'd be all over these these newsstands. I was thinking about that the other day, man, because
Yep.
I've been going through my books and selling a bunch of books, and I've been selling a bunch of newsstands. I sold a bunch of newsstand Michael Turner Superman covers when he was doing that Superman run, and I was packaging them up to send them out. I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm gonna regret this. I need to go and like save these newsstands. If there's one style of collecting keys that I should stick into or find a way to get into for cheap, it's this, the newsstands on these rare ones.
I agree. And I mean, a lot of things going through my mind numbers wise, and like I said, I kind of chuckle because I mean, it's not as heavy as printed as X-Force 1 polybag, but it's kind of like it crossed my mind, our conversation about that. Not saying it's the greatest play, but these 90s newsstands, I'm telling you, if you can find them in high grade, there's not a lot of high grade ones. I mean, truly high grade where you see a 9.8 CGC 9.8 worthy contender, like you see no color breaks. A really nice centered photo, no, spine roll, what have you. Those are tough. So you really got to look at the pictures. And if you pick up 3, 4, 5, 6 of these right now, between $4 to $8, have Redhood press them, send them over to CGC, get 9.8s, then you're pretty much set up for the next bump because supposedly Bastion's coming back.
I had a really good conversation in San Diego with who I think is probably the originator of the newsstand collecting thing, and that's Mike Hansen. I had a conversation with him where he talked about putting together that newsstand list that he put together back in the, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, or whatever he did it. You know what I'm talking about, Richie. I mean,
I have that list. Yeah. And every time
epic.
he would update it, he would send it to me. He's such a good dude.
Yeah. I mean, one of the most epic lists ever. And I was talking to him, and I forget what he said because it was a crazy night. Let's just say that. But I asked him what the last year Marvel did newsstands, and he told me, I want to say it was like 2018. Does that sound right? Because
that was DC.
That's DC. Okay, he told me
Marvel
something because I
was
know that's
2013. I think 2012 was actually.
I remember.
Could be 2013.
Yeah, we always wonder, what those exact dates are. Because we see these weird ones show up every once in a while. But
yeah, I mean, if anybody has a modern age newsstand or newsstand key that is, if Marvel printed them after 2013, Mike would know about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And excellent stuff. Make sure you guys go check out Spec Media, who do a show every Tuesday where they expound on the Buy the Dip list, and they get a little bit deeper and show you the books that you should be picking up. Remember, you guys, when you watch the House of Stein Hot 10 list, like these are 90% of the time the books you should be selling now or should already have on eBay. The smart guys, or follow that trend. This Buy the Dip list is the books you should be watching to say, okay, these are the books that I need to go pick up that are going to be the books to put on eBay when it hits, because some of these books are great spec plays for sure.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. It's very kind you say that. And from a numbers point of view or speculation point of view, that's why it's important to, from my opinion, to watch our show, listen to what we say, because Aaron is a machine. The guy is a machine. Every time I talk to him, the guy just comes up with some new stuff that I'm not aware of. I'm just like, wow. And we let you know in our opinions, if take it with a grain of salt, but if we think it's a good play or not. And then you guys are the ultimate deciders. We just want to notify you guys and report it.
Amen. All right, let's move on to the Almost 10. starting off with a killer book. And Ben, if you guys don't believe that synchronicity doesn't follow me everywhere I go, here's another perfect example. Me and Ben don't talk during the week about any of the books that he's going to put on the list. Okay. I get the list the day of and I make it. And usually I'm kind of hurrying to get this done by the time we hit the go button. So I know nothing on this list. And the almost 10 this week starts off with Vampires Everywhere, the official prop replica version. And if you guys don't know what this is, Stein, let them know.
Lost Boys.
Do I know what it's? Yeah, Lost Boys. Yeah, that's all I knew. I really didn't know much about it.
You don't know about this?
That it was only given out at a premiere or something like that, or is that what it was?
All right, so let's fix this.
You know where you can find them? Want me to tell you?
Well, hold on.
I'll just keep it a secret.
Yeah, put it in the private chat. Put it in the private chat. All right. Here's what you guys should need to know about this, okay? So this book is the book where the kid, what's his name? Sam gets when Corey Haim plays Sam, when Corey Feldman, hands him the book or whatever. And he basically says to him, I don't like horror comics. And they say, well, you'll like this one, Mr. Phoenix. It could save your life, which I always loved because, I'm in Phoenix. And anytime you're a kid and you see they call out your city, you're stoked. And I was into comics, right? So I remember just geeking out over that. But this is the book that they hand him. And check this out. The original comic that was created for the film, and it was signed by all the cast members, is still in the possession of Joe Ferreira II, who is the owner of Atlantis Fantasy World Comics, who we're going to have on the industry show in the future. So
I did not know that. That's so cool.
Right? Isn't that crazy, dude? So
that is crazy.
This was available in 2019 from Bottleneck Gallery. They did 2 books, and the Ashcan. They did the Ashcan and 2 books. One where it's the original comic in a lenticular. The other one is Destroy All Vampires, the second book, and then some 3D glasses because they did it in 3D. And then they had the Ashcan, all of them limited to 750. And it looks like you could have got, multiple versions of, if you just wanted one or the other, if you wanted all 3. They are no longer available. And it looks like they were about $35 to $25 to $35 for the set. So how much are they selling for now, Stein?
Well, what's weird is, so I sent you that link, but this Ashcan actually is that cover, but it's like closer up, like it's more zoomed in, and so it looks a little bit different than that one on the left. It's that image. It's just a little bit closer. But that one sold for $120 by itself.
Wow. And there's probably not many. Is there very many on eBay? JC Comic Stuff says lots of fakes of this. Mass produced, but there's only 700. The site says there's only 750 of them. Do we know if that's wrong?
I think he's talking about the replicas.
Well, that's what the site is. The site says the replicas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what the site was selling. These actual books that sold on eBay. They call it replicas because that's how they get away with printing them. But it says here, working alongside Justin Ishmael, we are proud to announce 3D Vampires Everywhere / Destroy All Vampires prop replica comic book sets with a custom 3D glasses and added 3D pages. This comic book variant is a loving homage to the Blackthorn Comics line of 3D comics they produced and became popular for in the 1980s. The prop replica comics also feature a modern touch with a special 3D lenticular motion cover, which creates the illusion of depth without glasses. These are limited edition of 750 copies, never to be reproduced again. We will also be releasing a very limited amount of deluxe 4 comic book sets, which include the 2 original comics, plus these new 3D versions, and the ash can that was released during the screening in NYC. And it says that those are limited, I believe, to 752, but I could be wrong. So maybe the lenticular one and the 3Ds and the full size of these are limited to 750. Those might be worth more. I don't know. We have to do a deep dive into this.
I don't
Kind of
know.
cool.
I did. I mean, I think it did say this ash can did come from NYCC.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So they were given out at the screening. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Another example of why it's cool to go to panels nowadays, man. You get cool books like this. So,
Yeah.
Brad Selden says, Team Corey Haim. I agree. All right. Moving on. Celebrate Diversity Catalog, issue number 1 from 1994, distributed by Diamond Comics, which is kind of interesting. This is very interesting. I mean, got a lot of great IPs on it. Beavis and Butthead, Bone, Hellboy, Sandman, Crow. I mean, Archie, The Mask, the dinosaur guys. I don't know what those dinosaurs are, but I call them dinosaur guys. Cerberus. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't remember ever hearing about this before. Do you guys know anything about this?
So
No.
it was a promotional sampler with stories and solicitations intended to introduce comic shops and collectors to independent titles. Interior stories from Concrete, Cerberus, Hate, Dr. Radium, ElfQuest, Archie, The New Frontier, Book of Twilight, and Hellboy. Shout out Nick at Key Collector for that information.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, it was a CGC 9.4 that sold for 300 on this. So this is pretty expensive. I think this is magazine size too.
It
so
is.
Mm.
Yeah, it's big.
Wow.
Pretty cool. More promo comics, right? They were just given away. So
yeah, and what's funny is we take this from 30 years ago because I saw Brad's comment woke before woke. But yeah, this was not like when we say diversity now, this has nothing to do with
diversity
as we
it's
we think of
diversity
today.
comic
This is
book characters. Yeah.
yeah. This is completely different. It's weird how words change in just a few short years.
Yep. Amen. CGC 9.4 for 300, you guys. So if you guys have any high grade copies or come across any books selling. Moving on to the next book. All right. There's multiple books on the list tonight that McClay needs to get. This is another one. The Omnificent Outcast #1. This is from Trident Comics in 2001. Now, this was I believe, just a self-produced comic. I've contacted Trident Comics to try to find out more about this. I haven't heard anything yet. And the cool part about this is not only that Outcast is on here, but also Slim Cutta Calhoun, which is another amazing artist from that time period in that crew, that Atlanta crew, that I forget what do they call their where they where they recorded everything. The chat will let me know. Anyways, the cannabis has been good to me tonight, but this is an excellent comic book to add to your collection right here.
Is it just me, or does that look like Michael Jordan? Is that?
Yeah, it does look like Michael Jordan. Yeah.
It's very strange. Like, it just looks like Michael Jordan.
The Dungeon Family. Thank you, Remo. That's what it is. The Dungeon Family, part of the Dungeon Family. So,
again, it's very. I mean, this is a book I've never heard of. I've never heard of Trident Comics.
It's funny. It's funny because they have Andre 3000 down perfectly. Big Boy is a little bit off, I think, but they have Andre down perfectly, man. Like, great job on that. So I'm gonna find out more about this. I'm gonna see if there's any more available because this thing sells for a pretty penny raw, $150, right?
Yeah, $150 raw on this. So this is not cheap at all. You're not just going to get it for like $10 or something like that. So, I mean, you might, if you see it, obviously definitely get it then. But
Good luck seeing that. There can't be that many out there, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
We'll find out soon. Like I said, multiple books that have been added to the McClay list. Here's another one. All right, moving on. This one blew me away just for the price that it's selling for. Venom issue number 23 from the 2012 run. This is the Humberto Ramos variant. Now, some places say that it was a ratio variant. I didn't get that from cover price, but I've seen weird ratios on this. 1 in 30, right, Stein? Is that what you saw on this?
Yeah. My comic shop says it's a 1 in 30. This is a hideous cover too. I've never seen a square crotch before. It's and its torso is like like the longest torso in history, and he's got these little stubby legs. But
Hey,
this sold for $400 raw.
what?
Yes,
And a 99, right? CGC 99?
raw.
What? My God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
So we'll see if they start popping up. See how rare they are. Next, we have one of my favorite all-time books, Invader Zim, issue 13, the Alex Pardee variant. I think I picked up a 9.8 of this last year. I'm pretty sure I did. I got to go double check, again, cannabis. But Alex Pardee is one of my all-time favorite artists, and this is a great book to have. A couple good Invader Zim books in that run.
Yeah, this cover is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like when you really start like looking at it, it really pops. Yeah, this is a crazy looking cover. This is not an incentive, right? This is just like a B cover.
Yeah, just a B cover.
Yeah.
Do you know who created this Invader Zim?
Johann Vasquez.
You got it. And Johann Vasquez also created
Johnny
Homicidal Maniac. Was it Squee? I Feel Sick.
I Feel Sick. And Lenore.
Lenore. A independent god in comic books. And shameless plug, I'll have a Johnny the Homicidal Maniac #1 first print available, I believe, in my next Whatnot sale.
Nice.
Yeah. But again, two great creators. I'm a big Johann Vasquez fan too, and this is just a perfect. There's a really good UFO aliens cover in the Invader Zim run too. But
yeah, it's done really well, man. The green and the red, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen this one, and I'm a huge fan of Invader Zim, and it is pretty cool. Now I got to go and fucking get it, man.
All right. It's cheap though. It's gone down.
Good.
Yeah. It basically was the sales that I could see from before were like $5 to $10, and this sold for 20 plus this week. So this one just looks cool. It looks like honestly the background initially, like just kind of glancing at it, I thought it was David Mack at first, just from the background. And then I saw the rest of it, and I'm like, okay, well maybe it's not that, but it almost looks like a Mac.
Yeah, from the background.
Water. Yeah, from the background. But
well, he announced a new card for his. You know how he does those baseball cards. He did the Topps Project 70 cards.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he just announced this one.
I didn't know
for
that.
his Brightmares card. He does each team, and this is the Yankees version, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, I saw you. I was watching the replay from Wednesday's show. I thought I saw y'all talking about that one.
Is this the same guy that Aaron got his Wemby card?
Yeah, this is
nice,
Alex
nice.
Pardee. There
Hell
we
yeah.
go. Yeah, and you can see some of his art here. He's got a really cool, discernible style. Look at these bright mares. Look at that one. That one's great. That's a shirt.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
That's a shirt, special shirt and print he had for San Diego. Yeah, he's just. I mean, you can totally look at that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some craziness.
Yeah,
this guy's like the artist.
I picked
So,
up
like,
one of
that's cool.
these, and it's
That is
acetate.
cool.
It's clear acetate underneath, where the green is, and I had him sign it in gold, which is badass.
Oh, that look cool.
Yeah,
I love Matt
That
Ball.
Wemby looks badass.
yeah. The Wemby. There you go.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a Garbage Pail Kid style.
Yeah.
Victor. No, there you go. Alex Pardee, for everybody that doesn't know. Go search the Invader Zim books too. All right, next. This one took me a little time to find out information on. Danger Girl 20 Years, the Planet Awesome Comics exclusive Virgin variant. This was originally, I believe, a foreign cover that they did for Cliffhanger magazine or Cliffhanger. I believe it's UK, but I could be wrong. I think that's the original right there. And they decided to do a Virgin variant for the 20-year anniversary of Danger Girl. So,
Yeah, I think Yee gave me this book.
oh, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah, they with that 20th anniversary, they did several. They kind of updated a couple of them, but then they kind of just used kind of like the
Ruby one.
yeah. This one obviously was never a cover in the US before, so this was kind of like the first. I think this was like the first time we could get this in the US. Is that right?
Yeah, because the Cliffhanger one was French.
Right. Yeah, this one sold for 150 raw this week. So that was a nice present from Yee Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. He put out some special exclusives for that too himself, and they're still available on his site. So if there's any J. Scott Campbell fans, look up the Danger Girls 20 Years variants on his site. He did. There's like they sold out of the third cover, but the other ones are still available. So,
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I would just be hating life if I was out there in my panties in the snow, like in the Russian snow. That looks awful.
it depends. She could be smoking a blunt right before she's about to jump back in a hot tub.
I guess. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
that looks terrible.
Yeah. She's doing the opposite of what Joe Rogan does.
What is Awesome Sauce at Red Hood? Please, what?
Red Hood, please answer Ryan's question. I also like.
He
to
just
have
wanted
you
to,
press him
he's trying to get in touch with you to for some pressing.
Oh, Ryan, you could hit me up on my IG, man.
check the messages that you have to look for, because he said they're probably in there.
Yeah, where you have to approve them or something like that.
Yeah. Shout out to Mrs. Horsecock Express for the $4.99 super sticker. All right. Moving on.
Oh, I got it.
Skylar Comics issue 0. Now, this is an interesting one. This is Indonesian, right, Stein?
It's what it said, and I'm
Mhm.
assuming it is because I don't really know what language they speak in Indonesia,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess.
Yeah. I found the publisher. This looks like the publisher. They have put out quite a few stuff. They have this series called Volt, which looks interesting. Here we go. See some stuff. So pretty cool. Upstart publisher in Indonesia. Got some interesting looking stuff. And this book tonight, though, is a Action Comics #1 homage that looks really good with all those signatures.
Yeah, and like I think if you just randomly glance at the cover, you wouldn't necessarily
Yep.
immediately say, "Oh, that's Action Comics."
You're
Yeah.
right.
But then when you look at it a little closer,
Yeah.
you're like, it is.
Yeah.
Those are kind of decent homages when it doesn't look like you just trace the original and then just maybe changed one thing on it.
Yeah.
Like this is like a whole, like a different, like complete take on what that cover is. So kind of cool. I have no idea who those signatures are on there. I mean, I'm assuming the artists and stuff for this particular book, but no clue. Sold for $60. I've never even heard of it. This just came out like a year ago, so it's not like it's an old book or something. I've just never even heard of this. I just thought it was kind of cool just to even see something like this.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Excellent. Something that if I saw this at a con, like all signed up like this, I would buy that for $60. You know, take a shot on it type deal. So who knows? Pretty cool shit. Skylar Comics, go check them out. They got a bunch of stuff on that you can find on eBay too, which is very interesting. So, all right, moving on. This one's super cool. Transformers Universe featuring the Wreckers #1, the BotCon exclusive from 2001. Another homage, this time giant size X-Men. And you guys know, if you're longtime, House of Stein fans, Flipside fans, Beyond Wednesday fans, Drunken Chat fans, you know that we've talked about these crazy Transformer variants, and specifically the BotCon ones or the convention exclusives are some of the most rarest, with one of them being the rarest that I know of, but there could be other rare ones, but this one seems pretty rare too.
Yeah, I mean, 2001, that's a long time. First of all, that's 23 years ago now. The fact that they've had exclusives like this that long ago is, I mean, that was probably fairly unusual, right? I mean, there wasn't that many at any of the cons. I mean, there were some, but not a huge amount.
Do you remember this one?
Mm-hmm.
This one, it was a con, 2003, right? One of the rarest comics you'll ever see. I saw Jesse James not realize what this was and start it for $1 on one of his old school comic book shopping network live sales. And sorry, I apologize. Put it up for $1 auction on eBay, and it sold for like $7,000 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. He had no idea.
He was probably like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Am I getting scammed?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's like one of the only known sales of this in 20 years or however long it's been. So these convention exclusives, including this one that we're showing, they're pretty crazy. This one specifically, this from 2001, is first appearance of Primal Prime. You can see him in the upper right there, which is super cool. I always loved the Optimus Prime Beast Wars character, the big gorilla. And I always thought his toys, those were the coolest toys too. I think I still have them. But this also has a Beast Wars backup story, which is another cool part about it. But cool cover, rarity, and first appearance of a major character.
Hell yeah.
That's a hit. That's a perfect storm.
Perfect combination. Exactly. Perfect storm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep. So moving on next. All right. Again, synchronicity. Stein has no idea. I have no idea what books he's putting on there. He has no idea about what I'm about to tell him. Crossed plus 100, issue number 9. For those of you guys that don't know, Crossed was a series originally by Garth Ennis, right? For Avatar. And they ended up doing this Cross plus 100 series. Early Cy Spurrier, I believe. I know he did this one. But they also did these homage variants for pre-code horror books, where the only thing they really changed was the trade dress, and they would put the cross, the red blood cross, like the Templar's cross, on the character or on the image somewhere. And here you go. You got a famous PCH cover here, a great homage back in 2015, you know, when it wasn't as crazy as it is now. So, and a lot of people didn't know about these, right? And here's the crazy thing, Stein. So I was only able to grab one, but I have been hoarding these issues for 10 years now, right? 9 years now. And I have so many of them, but my favorite is, hold on here. This one.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Look how good that
I
is.
can't
The-
imagine why that's your favorite one.
I know. with the red cross on the skull. Absolutely amazing. I have been hoarding these books, and there's a ton of them. I apologize, you guys. There's a ton of them. And what I mean by a ton of them, not of each book, but of the different covers they homage, right? So this one specifically, issue number 9, had a big CGC 9.8 sale this week.
Yeah, I was surprised that there was actually any graded, but yeah, CGC 9.8 sold for $250 on this. I don't know how hard were these to get. I mean,
They're not easy. I think they might have been ratio variants too. Were they 1 in 10s? I could be wrong about that, but I don't think they were hard to get at the time. But nobody bought them, dude. You know, they were like a book that nobody bought.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I've got a box behind me. I've got a short box behind me with probably like, I don't know, 5 different covers, and there's probably 5 of each at least in there.
do you have this one?
Yes. And guess where they're heading?
CGC?
CGC.
PSA.
No, fuck no. Yes, I'll leave the people that can go to PSA. I'll leave that to the big fish. I'm staying away from PSA, man. After everything I've heard, I don't want to get comic drama here, but after everything I've heard about their head grader, man, I want to hear more information, you know, about their head grader before I decide to send anything there, man. It's pretty.
What'd you hear?
Did you see that swag? Okay, so shout out to Swaggle House. He did a very cool little thing where he went and talked to each one of like the dealers, the actual comic dealers at San Diego, and he was talking to is it Jim at Bedrock Comics, and which is out your way, Hood. He's in Houston, right? I think that's in one of Nate's main stores, and Nate said that he's a real good guy. And so anyways, he talked to him, and he asked, Swag asked him, hey, what do you think about the new PSA? And that guy said, I'm not happy about who they chose for their head grader. And he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, like, and there's a lot of people that aren't happy with it, and that guy does not have a good name in the comic book, you know, world, which is, I don't know if it's true.
He can't grade or he's shady.
Who knows? I don't know. I want to find out more about it. And you know me, I'm going to try and do that. So we'll see if we can get Mark Wilson on the show. We'll see if we can get Jim from Bedrock on the show. I don't know. I want to hear what other, you know, it was very interesting to see that. And he was okay with putting it out there because he was doing an interview. So anyways.
Long short saying, stay away from the PSA head grader, shady as F.
There we go. There we go. So we're going to have to talk about that at some point, maybe on a channel like Beyond Wednesdays and maybe on Comic Drama Alert. Moving on. Again, synchronicity, this whole fucking list, Stein. Rick and Morty, Pocket Like You Stole It, the Tetris variant. This is a Pocket Like You Stole It, number 1. The C cover, I think, Tetris variant. One that I sold in a whatnot sale about 2 weeks ago for like $5 in perfect condition. And
Is this the right one?
yes, 100%. Right? Is this wrong?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is right. It's the name that it's the artist that you said, the Calibre or
Hold on.
whatever.
Is this is this the fried? I don't remember what it looks like. Is this
Rick
the
and Morty.
fried pie?
Oh no, maybe it's not. Okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the wrong one because I thought that like I did something crazy. Let me look it up. Rick and Morty Pocket Light. You stole it. Okay. I could be wrong, you guys. Here we go. Carolyn Maine version. Is that what it is?
It's what it had listed on the CGC case. Now, I don't know.
Which
No,
one?
I like this one better. The second one from the right, I think. The
This
with
one
the
right
treasure
here?
chest. I think so.
Okay.
Does that say fried pie on it?
Yes, it does. Okay, good. All right. You almost made me feel like a schmuck for selling that book for $7. Whew.
I'll be honest. I like yours better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. This one sold for $700 in a CGC 9.8.
Fuck are those
Yeah.
things, dude?
Yeah, a CGC 9.8 of this sold for
Creeping me out,
$700.
dude.
Now, if somebody could please explain to me why? I mean, these fried pie variants are not. These are from Second and Charles, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure why this would be $700.
What?
I don't. I mean, were they all just destroyed? I mean, were they all in bad shape?
Bro.
Somebody help me. Somebody help me understand this one.
Chat,
'cause
does
I don't.
anybody know? If you know and you're watching this on the replay, leave us a comment. Because, yeah, I remember. Did Fried Pie go out of business and then and Second and Charles all bought it? Or was it originally Second and Charles?
Man, Yee would know if he was here.
It's very
I
interesting.
don't know. I just wondering because if it was, most of those fried pies were polybagged. Like almost all of their variants were always polybagged. So I'm sure it's probably not the easiest thing to get a 9.8. This was the only 9.8 I think on the census, but I don't know. 700 seems a bit stupid.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry if you're one of the ones who bought it, or if you're the one who bought it, it seems kind of stupid. But
Let's take a look here. I want to see that then. The actual sale. Because it could be suspect.
What issue number is this?
Right here. Look at that. Yeah. They're calling it a Zelda variant, which, yeah, that's what those little things are. They're from Zelda.
Oh.
And he's Link.
Oh, pop 3. So there are 3 of them. I don't know. It just I didn't quite understand it. It was listed for $875 but sold for $7. So I have no clue.
Wow. Crazy, man. And we'll see if the guy pays. I mean, if this shows back up, there's the.
It showed on TerraPeak, and TerraPeak is the eBay.
Yep.
The eBay completed stuff, and they only put it on there if the funds went through. So
that makes sense. So there we go. All right.
Somebody's getting a divorce.
That's the Almost 10, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys come hang out with us Beyond Wednesdays tomorrow night for Monocomic Mayhem. I will also be having that epic Whatnot sale starting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. That is August 10th, Saturday, August 10th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and Sunday, August 11th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So tomorrow we will go from sale right into the show. So come hang out with us. I got a lot of super crazy books, including some rare variants. That being said, let's get into the list. Starting off with our Golden Age honorable mention. This is a very interesting cover, Ben. Comedy Comics, issue number 17 from July 1943. And is this an early Timely book?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. If you guys look at this cover now, first things first, super racist connotations that we would see out of this nowadays. Back then, they didn't think so. And also super creepy that he's going to kill a bunch of kids in a school. And the superhero is stopping the school from crushing on them, like, and they're kids cartoon characters. This is weird, man.
It is weird, isn't it? Like
Public school 49 and a half.
I mean, I mean, if you just glance at it, you're like, oh, this is like, just like a little kid's book from the 40s, oh, but then
The
you
first
look at,
appearance of Porky the Pig.
yeah, and then all of a sudden you look close and you're like, oh, hold on, what is actually going on here? Like, this is
Mom, Super Rabbit
crazy.
came to the school. He saved us again.
That's crazy, man. And it sold for a ton, by the way.
yeah. CGC 7.5 sold for 5,300 on this. Yeah, it's crazy. This is a crazy book. I mean, this is like way off the grid from what I've seen. But
I would like to see the 7.5 to see if the colors are as bright as they are here, because that's a lot of really,
it was on
interesting-
It was on Heritage.
Heritage,
So you can
okay.
pull,
Yeah.
yeah. So you can pull it up.
Wow, that's crazy, man. There you go. Another weird niche collecting community that loves these books. I shouldn't say weird. Another niche collecting community that loves these books. All right, let's move on to our regular honorable mention this week. A beautiful Hack / My First Maniac second print cover by Jenny Frizen. This is issue number 1.
Mama.
Yeah, from 2010.
So I want your guys' opinion. Do you like the first print or the second print better?
Second. It's got that color, that different
Do you
color.
do you have a picture of the first print to show everybody that might not have ever seen this before? And this is my personal opinion. I think this is one of Frizen's best covers that she's ever done.
I agree. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Yeah, this is just absolute gorgeous. Here's the original, the first print. It's kind of a little bit toned down, more realistic. And then she does this, the like ultraviolet, maybe, chroma cover. I like this one better. They're both good though.
Yeah. So yeah, CGC 9.8 of this sold this week for $850.
Wow. They had that really famous hack / cover with the it's the girl holding a knife behind her back when she's in just the panties. You know what I'm talking about? They had that at San Diego and they wanted like $5,000 for it or something. I mean, something crazy. It was some ridiculous amount. And you see this. There's some really rare hack / variants out there. Shout out to Tim Seeley and Josh Blaylock, man.
Yeah. I've got a ton of hack / variants.
That Scotty Young one. Do you have that Scotty Young one? Or it's the squirrel holding the knife behind his back.
I did have it, but I graded. I think I think that somebody in SteinPec 8 might have got that.
Wow. If you got that, you guys, let us know. Put it in the chat or drop a comment. That's a rare one. This is a rare one too. 850 and 9.8. Not bad. So, all right, moving on. Number 10 this week. The Power Fantasy issue number 1, the Tula Lote 1 in 100. An absolutely beautiful cover. This is a new series by Kieran Gillen over at Image Comics. And you guys, I mean, this is beautiful. When we saw it on the show last night, or Wednesday night, we were taken aback. There were some really good covers for this series. A couple that people were talking about, but this one to me is the best.
1 in 100. Some for like 115. Do you guys know what this story is about?
No, but let's find out. Let's see here.
Because there was clearly a little bit of buzz around some of these books this week, so I'm very curious as to what the story is about.
All right. So it says here, Superpowered. You have you have certain preconceptions. They are incorrect. Here, that word has a specific technical definition, namely, any individual with the destructive capacity of a nuclear arsenal of the USA. There are 6 such people on Earth. The planet's survival relies on them never coming into conflict. Come dance to the ticking of the doomsday clock. The eternal fight against fighting starts now. So it sounds like it's like a, some type of play on the people that have the ability to launch a nuclear weapon, maybe, or if they're super powered and they have the ability to. I don't know. It says any individual with the destructive capacity of the nuclear arsenal of the USA. So it must be super powered people that have the power to destroy someplace, like if we would destroy someplace with our nuclear weapons.
Entry. So so basically you got to keep these 6 people in check because they could basically blow up the whole world if they wanted to.
Yeah. Very interesting, man.
Hmm.
Kieran Gillen's great. I mean, if you don't love Kieran Gillen, you're not reading his comics. It's that simple.
Right.
So, very interesting. There was multiple books that people were talking about tonight. I'm not going to spoil anymore. We might have it on the list, but we'll get to that later. This one though is the best in my opinion. So, moving on to number 9. A beautiful 1 in 25 of Ain't No Grave number 4, the Scotty Young variant, and all the Scotty Young 1 in 25s for this have just been excellent.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of like it does on some of these other ones when it just keeps, it kind of hits each month, but like each month it kind of the price point keeps coming down and down and down a little bit. Like it's less than the number 3 was. But yeah, like this one just came out. It's at 40, so it's still above ratio, but yeah, this one's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think these Ain't No Grave variants that he's putting out are much better quality of design and of the covers, and here's why. Because this is a Scotty Young IP. He's writing the series, and if he's going to do his best work, he's going to really, really try to do that on his own IPs. And I mean, this is his newest IP he's working on. So that's why I think these covers are so good. I mean, look how great the design with the trade, where the trade is located, the colors. I mean, they've just been, all of them have been great. And to be honest, I think I might collect them. I think I might wait till they're on Buy the Dip and then just grab them.
Hell yeah.
So how much is this one selling for?
40.
Wow.
Isn't it interesting that comment you made, Ben? It's always stuck in my head. So like you get the first issue of some crazy book like this or Red Band, and the first 1 in 25 goes crazy. Maybe the second one has got that big hype and it stays there, and then all of a sudden as the issues start counting down, you're right. There's like that little margin that's left out, which it's equivalates to a lower price or lower value. Well, if you think about it, the later issues are typically the most scarcer issues, right?
Yes.
I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so this one, so this one's a number 4. So number 1 kind of hit, and maybe retail. I'd have to go back and like look and see what the orders were on it. Maybe retailers bumped up their orders for number 4 or by number, or to where this one might have, maybe there's more copies of number 4 than there was for number 1 if they thought it was going to be a hit at that point. I don't know.
Interesting. All right, moving on to number 8. A gorgeous, iconic Mark Silvestri cover that a lot of people are stoked about all of a sudden because it was used as a quick scene in Deadpool Wolverine. But in my opinion, this is one of my all-time favorite covers, and I think that this should have been on people's all-time favorite covers list for a long time. Right?
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful cover.
we talked about it last week. It was selling pretty well with Raw last week. This week, the graded copies caught up to the Raw increase. And while these are not all-time highs, because again, all-time highs always happen during COVID for most of these books, but this is greatly higher than it was before. CGC 9.8s are back up over 300 plus. And 9.6s are 150 on this. So, yeah, I mean, these hit basically kind of these levels during COVID. So these are kind of pretty close to all-time highs.
Yeah.
On this. But I agree with Brian. Like, there's just even the bronze and copper, and even the early moderns and stuff like that. There's quite a few covers in there that are like, I wouldn't use the iconic word, but they're easily recognizable covers. And even if these were overprinted, which obviously Uncanny X-Men in this time period was heavily printed.
1989.
Yeah, heavily printed back then.
Twice a month. Their biggest book.
Yeah, so there's a ton of copies out there, but just for the cover alone, these are kind of books that like most collectors want in their collection. So there's really not ever going to be a time that people do not want this book.
So like this Silvestri, he's always been underrated. And I think about this rendering right here. If McFarlane would have done this, or Jim Lee would have done the same rendering, how much is this book? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because if McFarlane's signature is on that he did it, it's up in that upper echelon of books without even forgetting about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I remember buying this book off the rack because it was just badass, but I feel like that it's not super expensive because McFarlane or Jim Lee's name is not on this book.
Do you remember?
You look at Silvestri's books and they're not expensive.
I think I talked about this a little bit last week. So, and I want to bring this up because, his Inferno covers were some of the best. They have this like movie poster quality, right? I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous. This is X-Men number 240, the starting of the Inferno, I believe, maybe the second book in X-Men. Yeah, X-Men 239 was the first. But I mean, look at these covers. I mean, they all just look like movie poster. Beautiful art. Some of the best. He was one of my all-time favorite X-Men artists. I mean, look, every single one of the Inferno covers for the main X-Men series are just, and they're Silvestri. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. So
You like them more than Jim Lee and John Byrne?
I like him. Oh man, I don't think I like him more than Jim Lee or John Byrne, but he's up there. I'm not a huge John Byrne fan. I mean, I love his stuff, but I wasn't reading his stuff when it was coming out like some of the people who are in their like 50s, right, into 55, 56, where that was their perfect time in comics. So I'm not a big Byrne Claremont. I love the stories and I can read them and I can give them there. But to me, it was the stuff in this time period, the Will Spartaccio, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, time period that I love the best. So
yeah,
probably
I think with John Byrne, I think his Fantastic Four run is in the Bronze Age is very underrated, undervalued, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. So this one is trending in graded sales, which is nice. So, all right, moving to number 7 this week, Marvel Superhero Secret Wars issue number 10. And of course, with the news from San Diego, people are starting to grab some of those other books that might be speculated on. And of course, Doom and Secret Wars here you go.
Yeah, another really cool cover from, again, pretty much the same time period.
Mike Zeck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, again, this is another heavily printed book. If you can get one that's a newsstand, that's probably going to be a better. Richie, was there?
Option.
Yeah, was there?
I'm looking right now.
Like any pences or Canadian price variants or anything on this?
Pretty sure it was Canadian price variant. It should be a 95 center, but I'm checking Mark Jewelers at
Yeah, Mark
first. Maybe. Yeah, it's starting to look like it. What is this, issue 10?
Yeah.
10.
Yep. There's a Mark Jewelers 5 through 11 are the Mark Jewelers are available, and we were doing this. Me and Ben were looking at stuff like a couple shows ago. I don't know, like a month or something like that. And he was like, I can't remember what book it was, but you pulled an Australian price variant. Which one was that?
That was a
And we
New
were like,
Mutants book, wasn't it?
X-Force 1, right? Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool one. I wanted to see if there was an Australian, but all right. Marvel Superhero Canadian price variant, and it is 1 through 12 Canadian price variant. Boom. Yep. And that is a 90. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It's $1. $1 is the cover price on the Canadian price variant.
Not bad.
Nice. But yeah, 9/8 of this have jumped all the way up. They were like 200. Now they're 275 plus. So
Wow.
this is expensive in a 9/8.
Wow.
Not newsstand. That's just in the direct version.
Yeah.
Classic covers. So many classic covers in this
Cover's
one.
still fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very classic.
All right. Moving on to number 6 this week. All right, here we go. Deadpool issue number 31 from 2014. This is the first appearance of Ellie Wilson, or Ellie Camacho, daughter of Wade Wilson, who, as announced at San Diego Comic-Con, will be having her own series. Unfortunately, it's written by someone who couldn't write his way out of a paper bag.
Jeff
And
Johns.
Corey Ziegler.
Oh, Ziegler. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Cody Ziegler.
That's who I was thinking of. The Spider-Punk guy.
Yeah, Spider.
I was like, Jeff Johns is actually good.
Yeah. No. So, but this is an old school Brian Posehn comic book. This one Posehn was helping out with the Deadpool stuff, and Jerry Duggan, right? Yeah, Duggan. So beautiful Mark Brooks cover. I love Mark Brooks' little art signature thing he does.
Yeah.
So cool. But yeah, here we go. This movie is starting to catch some heat. People are starting to finally catch on. People have been talking about this book for a while, though.
Yeah, but it didn't sell for much.
No.
And there's a Guardians of the Galaxy cover of this that
It's Rocket
I can't remember.
and
Groot, right?
No, I think it's Rocket and Star-Lord,
Maybe, okay.
but I could be wrong.
No, you could be right. I'm trying to think, and it's 12:30, and 50-year-olds get really tired at 12:30.
Just say cannabis, Stein. Just say cannabis.
So yeah, this was only like a $10 to $15 book before. So it was not expensive at all. Now it's 25 to 30. I agree. I like this Brooks cover. It's I don't know what's going on it, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So she's supposed to take over. Is she actually taking the Deadpool moniker at Deadpool 7?
We don't know. Deadpool could, be dead. You know what I mean?
It says they're killing him.
Yeah.
Which,
okay.
I mean, we all know that's not gonna fly long term. So
exactly.
There's your Alex Maleev variant for this issue. Groot's there, but I just didn't realize it. I thought it was a mountain. Yeah,
It's not. Boy, Rocket, man.
Yeah, Rocket looks good. Yeah,
I like the way Groot's designed.
So same with me. I think Groot's such and Rocket and Groot are such great characters.
Hell
They've
yeah.
turned him into such great characters. So, but
Agree.
this is the one that's selling for the money, for the moolah, baby. Yeah, there you go. $25 to $30. We'll start seeing graded copies hit soon too. See if it's on here next week. All right, moving on to number 5. Here we go. The Power Fantasy issue number 1. This is the thank you variant. Casper Wingard thank you variant. And this, again, I was saving it until we talk about this book, but the Power Fantasy had some issues this week. It seemed like they had these 2 variants of the A cover. And one was showing up more than the other. It looked like about a 60-40 split. So people were trying to say one was short printed and this. I don't know if that's true, but it's the A cover and it's just a little bit different trade dress design on the top. So they're calling it a chase cover, but this is a different one. This is the thank you variant that nobody really knew about, I imagine.
Yeah, it's was it on accident? Or let me put this a different way. Are they trying to make it seem like it was an accident? Because I don't think that any of these things that they call accidents are actually accidents.
Yeah,
I think they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But I mean, was this actually or was this just people are just saying that it was accident?
Don't know. I've looked for confirmation out there about it, and I couldn't find any. This is the A cover, and then this is they're calling it the chase cover, so you can see the difference. It's a box on the A cover, and there's no box on the quote-unquote chase cover. And they're saying that it's about 60-40 split on it. I don't know if the chase cover is the one that had the 40%, but as you can see, there are a lot of variants with this, and in my opinion, the thank you variant is the worst of them all. I like this one, the Rian Hughes 1 in 50. I like the Stephanie Hans, and I like
Hans
the Tula.
Good.
Yeah, the Tula Lotte 1 in 100. I mean, they're good. Those are great variants right there, and they look like a Kieran Gillen comic book cover. Kieran Gillen has this style throughout the years. It's usually Kieran Gillen, and who's he always with? The artist he's always with that he used to do everything with. Chat will let me know, but he has this look of his covers that kind of go throughout the years, and to me this is the worst of them all, but it's moving.
Yeah, it's selling $70 for this one. And I think it may just be because people do think that this one is shorter printed than the other one. But I guess we'll find out probably in a few weeks if it actually was.
That's a hard pass for me, guys.
Yeah.
When I first saw this cover, I was like, "Holy childbearing hips!"
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, man. We'll see how this plays out. I'm gonna check it out for sure. But yes, thank you, Nick. Jamie McKelvey. Shout out to Nick Barucci. Yes, he does those great covers. Jamie McKelvey always does the art with a lot of Kieran Gillen books. But this one's different. Casper Wingard. I hope I'm saying that right.
The Tula Lotte ones are the ones to get.
Yes, I agree. But $70.
But yeah, I mean, there's always an outlier. You know what I mean? So I'm sure if somebody gets it, it's not going to stay at 70 if this series is really good. So
yeah. All right, moving on to number 4 this week. A gorgeous Cale New variant for Blood Hunt issue number 5. It's very interesting this week that the Blood Hunt book is not the 1 in 25 red band. It's the regular 1 in 25.
Doom, man.
Yeah, it's all about Doom, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool cover. This one actually came out last week, so this is actually a week old.
Yes.
I think people basically everybody was still rushing for the red band, and they just either just didn't notice this one or something, because it was only selling for like 10, $15 last week. And now it's 40 to 45. So it's, I think it still goes to the fact that when you see a cool cover, even if it's not necessarily popular when you see it, it's probably not a bad idea to just go ahead and pick it up. I mean, if you could have got this for 10, now people are looking like, oh, why didn't I buy that for 10 or 15 last week? I mean, it seems kind of obvious now, but we just kind of get hooked into whatever's moving at that second, and we don't really think, hey, that cover is probably going to be a hit at some point.
Yeah. It's a great freaking cover, that's for sure. I love the astral form characters, or like the hologram characters from Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I love that type of thing, and I'm a geek for that, So I think it's cool, and I love obviously the Doom cover is cool with him being the sorcerer. It's like you got all the 3 Sorcerer Supremes there. You're only missing what, Voodoo, Dr. Voodoo. So, but yeah, good stuff. 40 to 45 bucks on this. All right, next at number 3, a gorgeous Richard Corbin cover. This is the 2024 San Diego Comic-Con panel variant for Epitaphs from the Abyss, the EC style book from Oni Press that just came out. And man, people have been talking about this, the multiple covers, but this is the one that a lot of people weren't talking much about right after, and it snuck up on a lot of people.
Yeah, Richie saw this and he was like, "Man, I want this cover." And then he was like, "Did you see this one?" I was like, "Yep, I did see it because it's number 3 on the list this week."
The kid's toes, man. That that kid's scared, bro.
Yeah, last week I don't know which day. What do you know? What day the panel was for this one?
I don't remember. It might have been Saturday. It might have been the same time as the X-Men panel. So
Okay.
it might have been Saturday. Either Friday or Saturday.
I mean, last week there were just a couple sales, but they were only sales for like $80. This week this is selling for like $225 plus. So this like really there must not have been many people at that panel. Is the only thing I can think, right?
And Corbin fans are ravenous, man. I mean, once they find out that there's a book, might have taken a little bit of time for it to come out, but as soon as it did, they're probably going crazy for this.
Yep.
So, very, very cool cover. Cool series so far. All right, moving on to number 2 this week, the Uncanny X-Men issue number 1, Jim Lee Hidden Gem 1-in-50 ratio variant, starring the beautiful Savage Land Rogue.
My God.
Yeah. Internal art from one of the original issues.
Yeah, I was going to say, was this like interior art, or was this like one of the this looks like what would have been used on like the X-Men trading cards. That's what I was thinking. It was like the trading cards.
I've been told it's interior art, and I remember I forget the issue number, but we were told the other day which issue number it is. I want to say 270 something, 274. Thank you, Timothy. 274. I thought it was 278. So I would have said wrong. 274.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I like when they don't announce certain things.
Bro, this book is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Did you pick it up?
No, I will. I would pay $100 for this book right now.
I bet you they might have had to recolor it, because the coloring doesn't look the same to me. Like, right?
I don't know.
I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
It's like 90s. This is 90s.
Yep. Early 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
Well, Joe, if you would say you pay up to 100, then you can buy it right now because it's 80. So there you go.
There we go.
I want this in a slab.
Nick Barucci said it was colored by Alex Sinclair for the cover.
Wow.
So yeah, they recolored it.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
The colors look nice on this. They look really clean. And
Yeah.
I mean, taking older Jim Lee art, and then kind of updating the colors on it, kind of gives it it's got a different look to it than what.
It's polished. Is what it
Yeah.
is.
Polished.
Something. Yeah.
You remember when things were right in the world and Jim Lee was doing comics, man? This takes me back to when like there was no cell phones and everything was simpler. This is good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
No shit. Fuck off my lawn, mama.
All right. The number one book of the week, ladies and gentlemen, with 200 people watching live right now. Absolute Batman, the San Diego Comic-Con Ash Can is back on the Hot 10 show.
Yeah. Last week it was like $60, and now there have been a truckload of sales. They kind of averaging like 110 on this. Some were higher than 110. I'm not sure why it's basically doubled since last week. I mean, that's obviously not like super rare. But
Feel better,
know.
Nick. Yeah. Listen, people are starting to get a little stoked for this series. When I first saw it, the first time I saw it, I was like, this looks weird. But I've really warmed up to it, and I'm really looking forward to it, man. I hope it's good. Please be good.
I mean, there's in comics, if Batman stories are written well, then everything's right in the world. Like it just feels right. If Batman's being written well.
There is a foil variant to this. If you guys don't know, there was a limited to 500 foil variant. There is the ash can and the foil. So there's a foil variant of the ash can. I'm not sure which is which. Shout out to Cover Price, who they have. Obviously, this is the ash can, and then if you look down, Nick Dragotta foil limited to 500. You can't really tell the difference, but there's two different versions. So I don't know which is which that are selling more. I imagine it's the foil, but that's something that we probably need to look into, or I need to look into a little bit better.
Yeah, I think it is I think the foils are the ones
that are selling for.
I don't think the regular ones are selling for that much at all. It's
okay.
But again, they're still. I mean, I will say, just based on the number of sales, I would have a hard time believing there's only 500 of these. But
we'll see.
We can't prove it because they don't number their books. So
yeah.
What? Tetradiatom? What's his name?
Yeah, tetradiatom.
Yeah, diatom. He's like, come on, bro. Her hair.
Oh,
bro, her hair's perfect. Go back to that number 2 book, man. Are you serious? My goodness. Bro,
speaking of Batman,
her hair is perfect, bro. Makes you want to go and take a nap. Mama.
In the hair.
Yeah.
Speaking of Batman, have you seen any of the new Batman Bruce Timm cartoon?
Yes.
Is it good?
I'm up and down.
I saw the first episode.
Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
I was thrown a little bit by like the gender swap.
Yes.
It kind of threw me for a loop, but I didn't hate it either. I mean, I thought it was done well. It just threw me for a loop. I was not expecting it when it was like right in front of me.
Yeah. If it's good, it's good. And that's the way it is. So we'll see. I haven't finished it. I'm kind of like with you, Stein. When I first saw it, I didn't when I first saw the gender swap information, I even talked about it on Beyond Wednesdays, where I was like, why do they have to do this? They got so many great iconic female characters in the Batman Rogues Gallery. Like, why do you have to turn Penguin into a female? And they did some other interesting changes on there, and I just, oh man, it's hard to be cool with it. But I will continue to watch the rest. There are some very good, like, dark kind of what am I looking for? Like horror-esque type episodes that are really cool. Yeah, I haven't finished it yet, but when I finish it, I think we'll all talk about it a little bit.
I'll tell you how to fix this problem. Like, just make every character a chick and do it for a year, and then let's fucking move on.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just
Yes.
make everybody a chick, a dog, a cat, and everything, and then a chicken, and then, like, we can move on.
The problem is that they won't
Right?
move on. Yeah.
Ooh, a dog penguin? That would be cool.
A dog penguin, like man bat, Batman,
Yeah.
she Batman, him Batman, her. Like, give me a break, dude.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Well, I'm looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to the Absolute series. You guys know me. I'm a huge New Gods fan, Darkseid fan, and Darkseid's going to be the big bad. So I'm stoked about that. And Scott Snyder and Josh Williamson. I think Josh Williamson's the best writer in comics, in my opinion. Right now, he's the best writer in comics. So that will be very, very cool. There you guys go. Thank you guys for the 176 that stuck towards the end. Hit that thumbs up if you hadn't already hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. Stein, you got anything coming up here in the next week or so? Anything interesting?
I do. Well, the only thing interesting is because it's my birthday, I would rather you guys get to celebrate. So I'm all this week I'm going to be putting books together for the show next week. And there's going to be a bunch of winners and stuff. So I'm going to because I'm 50, I'm going to be giving away 50 books, not to 50 different people, but 50 books, probably to like 10 people, 5 books a piece. So there's going to be a bunch of winners next week. And I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll figure it out. And we're just going to give some stuff away next week. So make sure you tune in next week for sure.
What's up, Scouter?
Big show. Shout out to our friend Ben.
What's up, Lewis?
For me, I have a massive show on Whatnot starting tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Tons of major keys. I've got Neil Adams autographed Silver Age books. I've got modern keys and variants. I've got a ton of X-Men books, a ton of Deadpool and Wolverine books. Some super rare G.I. Joe variants, including the Renegar and the issue 34 Cobra red foil limited to 500. And you might see some San Diego Comic-Con variants there too. So come hang out with me. You guys can find that in my link tree.
Campbell's, dude?
I will have some Campbell's there. A very rare, I have a very rare sketch Campbell G.I. Joe Danger Girl cover that will be on. So
The
a lot of
Baroness?
Campbell's. Baroness one, yep. The sketch one. Yes. So that will be 2 shows, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday. And then on Saturday, that show on Whatnot will roll straight into Modern Comic Mayhem, where it's always craziness. Come hang out with us Saturday night, where we'll talk about new FOC books, any comic book drama and news and notes for the week. And we'll have a lot of fun. That being said, we are going to run through the quick 10 for everybody and call it a night. So I'm going to drop all these guys off, and we'll see you soon.
See you.
All right, starting off, we have our Golden Age honorable mention this week, Comedy Comics 17 from July 1943, Timely/Marvel Comics, a big sale at Heritage, a CGC 7.5 sold for $5,300. Very crazy cover right here. Just take a look at it. Weird one for sure. Moving on to our regular honorable mention, we have Hack / My First Maniac, issue number 1, the Jenny Frison second print. Some really good variant covers in those Hack / series, those early ones. This one from 2010, early Jenny Frison cover. This one is a little bit different color variant. They have a first print of this that is a little bit more realistic. This one kind of has that inverted color going on it. Beautiful book, beautiful cover. A CGC 9.8 sold for $850. At number 10, a new book this week, The Power Fantasy, issue number 1, Tula Lote, 1 in 100. First of a couple times we'll probably see this issue or book on the Hot 10 series, that is. And this one sold for $115 raw. Beautiful cover. Great Kieran Gillen style cover. Next at number 9, Ain't No Grave, issue number 4, the Scotty Young 1 in 25. These Scotty Young 1 in 25s for Ain't No Grave are gorgeous. This one is absolutely beautiful as well. $40 raw. This is a new book out this week. At number 8, a returning book from last week's list, Uncanny X-Men, issue 251, the classic Mark Silvestri cover that was used in Deadpool and Wolverine as a flashback scene. Now CGC 9.8s are selling for $300 plus. 9.6s are $150 also. That's a nice little chunk of change. At number 7, another classic Marvel cover from that time period, Superhero Secret Wars number 10, the iconic Mike Zeck Doom cover. CGC 9.8s of this are selling for $275 plus. At number 6, Deadpool issue number 31 from the 2014 series. This has the first appearance of Ellie Camacho, aka Ellie Wilson, who was announced to be getting her own series at San Diego Comic-Con this year. And people are catching on to the speculation bug with this one. This one was getting about $10 to $15 on the secondary market raw, now $25 to $30. At number 5, we have another Power Fantasy. This is issue 1, the Thank You variant. This one's selling for about $70 raw. There was also a weird error that people are talking about with the A and B chase covers. That we're supposed to maybe see a 50-50 ratio between them. Are seeing a 60-40 split, we're hearing. We don't know if that's true. We're just hearing that. This book came out this week. At number 4, we have Blood Hunt issue number 5, a book that came out last week. This is the Kale New 1 in 25. Very interesting to see the non-red band 1 in 25s show up on this list, but obvious why this one is. You got the great Dr. Doom as Sorcerer Supreme, and who's not loving the Dr. Doom spec? This is a beautiful, beautiful cover by Kale New at number 4, selling for $40 to $45. At number 3, another book that came out recently. This is Epitaphs from the Abyss, issue number 1. This one was not really picked up on when it first hit during San Diego Comic-Con. This is a panel variant that they handed out at SDCC this year. It was selling for about $80 when it first hit, but people have really caught on to how great this Richard Corbin cover is, selling for $225 plus on the secondary market. At number 2, we have the Uncanny X-Men Jim Lee Hidden Gem variant for issue number 1. This is a 1 in 50 ratio, and it is selling for about $80 a piece. Again, came out this week. It was a little bit of a surprise, and people are absolutely loving the Savage Land Rogue interior art from Uncanny X-Men 274 being used as the cover for the new X-Men series. At number 1, we have Absolute Batman, the San Diego Comic-Con foil ashcan cover. Was on the list last week, was selling for about $60 to $70, and that's almost doubled now at $110 each for these. Supposedly only 500 of the foil variants out there for this. There is a regular black and white ashcan, but we'll have to see in the future if those numbers play out. Thank you for watching this week. This is the House of Stein Hot 10 comic show, counting down the best comic books on the secondary market for the week of August 9th, 2024. We'll see you next time. Adios.